adding fractions with different denominators. So when the denominators are the same, you can add the numerators. For example, if I have the fraction 1/4 plus 2/4, I can see that my denominators are the same, and this is very, very important. Once these are the same, and only when my denominators are the same, can I then look at the top digit, which we call numerators, and my sign is addition, and I can add them together. So 2 plus 1 is 3. With my denominator, I keep it the same. I do not add my denominators. Or if it was subtraction, I wouldn't subtract my denominators. The denominator stays the same. So 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. Again, if I have 3/7 plus 2/7, the first thing I'm going to check is what is my operation? My operation is addition. Once I know that, the second thing I check is my denominators. And I ask the question, are my denominators the same? In this case, yes, they are. So that means then, because they are the same, I can add my numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. I do not add or subtract my denominators. My denominator is 7, so I write down my denominator as 7 here. However, today's lesson is looking at adding fractions with different denominators. And how do we do this? Let's look at these two fractions. 5/8 plus 1/2. So the first thing I look at is I look at my operation. And my operation is addition. Then I look at my denominators. Are my denominators the same? No, they are not. So what my job here is to get the denominators the same. And only then am I able to add them. So how do I get my denominators the same here? What I do is I'm going to look at my denominator 8, and over here I'm going to write 8 down. Then I'm going to look at my denominator 2. Over here I'm going to write 2 down. And I'm going to do my 8 times tables. And then I'm going to do my 2 times tables until we have a number that matches up in both tables. Let's see what that looks like. So my 8 times tables are 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16, 8 threes are 24. I could continue, but I'm not going to. I'm going to now look at my 2 times tables. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 ones are 2. Sorry, let me go back here. 2 ones are 2. I'm correct. 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, 2 fours are 8. And I'm now going to check do I have a number in common here? So I can see here, I have 24 here, but there's no 24 here. I have 16 here, there's no 16 here. Ah, I've got 8 here. And over here, I've got 8. So this is what we call a common denominator. That means that they have the number 8 in common. So what I'm now going to do is 8 is going to become my denominator. So I put 8 here. I'm going to put my addition sign, and I'm going to put 8 here. But if I'm using 8 as my denominator, it means I have to do something with my numerator. From 8 to 8, I don't need to do anything. So therefore, from 5 to here, I'm going to put down 5. I don't need to do anything here. 5 eighths is still going to be 5 eighths because 8 is the denominator. I don't need to change this one here. Going over here, however, 2 becomes 8. How did 2 become 8? We need to use multiplication or division. 2 became 8 by multiplying by 4. So therefore, I have to look at my numerator and I have to multiply my numerator by 4. So 4 ones are 4. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add together 5 eighths plus 4 eighths. And my denominators are the same. I'm adding 5 plus 4 is 9. And my denominators stay the same. So I have 9 over 8. We can do something else with this number, but I'm not going to do that today. So 5 eighths plus 1/2 is equal to 9 eighths. Let's have a go at another one. So I'm going to look at 1/5 plus 2/10. What's the first thing I look at when working with fractions? I'm going to look at the operation. The operation is addition. And what do I know about adding or subtracting fractions? To do that, my denominators have to be the same. Are my denominators the same? No, they're not. So that means I have to get a common denominator. How do I do that? One of the ways, there are a few, is I'm going to write 5 up here. I'm going to write 10 here. And I'm going to write down my tables until I get a common denominator. Now, you might already know what that's going to be, but let's have a look. So my 5 times tables are going to be 5, 10. Have you spotted it? Let's do 15, 20. Now I'm going to do my 10 times tables. 10 ones are 10, 20. Do I really need to keep going? No, I don't. Because have you noticed the number in common? The number in common is 10, 10. So therefore 10 is going to be my denominator. I'm going to write 10 here and 10 here. Let's look at 2/10. 2/10, my denominator is already 10. So I don't need to make any changes to my numerator. Let's have a look at the other fraction. 1/5. Well, from 5 to 10, remember, we're going to divide or multiply. To get from 5 to 10, I have to multiply by 2. So I'm going to repeat that. To get from 5 to 10, I multiply by 2. Therefore, when I'm looking at my numerator, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with my denominator. I'm going to multiply 1 by 2. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. Really what that means is 1/5 is equivalent to or equal to 2/10. Now I can add them. 2 plus 2 is 4. And again, remember, my 10 stays the same. So 1/5 plus 2/10 equals 4/10. Okay, let's try one more. So I'm going to go with 2/9 plus 2/5. Perhaps you can pause the video and try this yourself. So the first thing I look at when I'm working with fractions is my operation. I can see my operation is addition. Therefore, I'm going to check, are my denominators the same? No, they are not. And I know when adding or subtracting fractions, my denominators have to be the same. So I'm going to write 9 over here and 5 over here. And I'm going to find the multiples of these two numbers and then find the common denominator. So let's do our 9 times tables. I'm going to do the first 5 or 6. 9 ones are 9, 9 twos are 18, 9 threes are 27, 9 fours are 36, 9 fives are 45, 9 sixes are 54. Let's do our 5 times tables. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 15, 20, 25. So far, I can't see any numbers in common. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, I now see that I have a number in common. I can see that I have 45 in my 9 times tables, and I also have 45 in my 5 times tables. That means my denominator is going to be 45. And then maybe some of you have noticed that if I multiply 9 by 5, I also get 45. That's a different way, another way of getting a common denominator, but you wouldn't always do it that way. So let's have a look here. This time, I'm going to have to actually do something with both denominators. To get from 9 to 45, I have to either divide or multiply. To get from 9 to 45, I can see that I multiply by 5. If I multiply my denominator by 5, that means I have to multiply my numerator by 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So 2/9 is the same as 10/45. Let's go over to my next fraction. To get from 5 to 45, I have to multiply by 9. What I do to my denominator, I also have to do to my numerator. So I'm going to multiply 2 by 9, which is 18. So 10 over 45 plus 18 over 45 equals 28. Remember, we do not add or subtract the denominators. My denominator here is going to be 45. So what is 2/9? What is 2/9 plus 2/5? 2/9 plus 2/5 is 28 over 45. Okay, well done.